Can you hear me okay, George? Now, let's have it, Steve. What about this monster story of yours?
Well, it's big and terrible. More frightening than I ever thought possible.
You realize your story's front page all over the country. We want to know what's being done about this monster.
Well, here's your headline.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of WPOV, Wrestling POV. I'm your host, Tony Diaz, along with Ron Douche.
How goes it, everybody?
And let me tell you something, we got a lot to talk about.
That we do.
Oh, man, there is a lot to talk about. What happened at Fastlane, what happened, especially what happened on Raw.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm itching to talk about that.
Yeah. But anyways, before we go on to that, I wanted to talk about what's going on in the wrestling news world,
okay,
which is John Cena, actually. I don't know if you heard of this. He posted some kind of cryptic tweet, and it was a picture of CM Punk's profile picture, which is
his
Paul
old
Newman.
alumni? Or
No, it's Paul Newman from the movie Slapshot. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes.
It's a good movie, by the way. But
yes,
that's CM Punk's profile picture.
On Twitter.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yep.
It's Paul Newman from the movie Slapshot.
Right.
And John Cena tweeted that picture. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it said, but
I feel that it could be a little, him and Punk had a feud thing going on.
A feud?
Not a feud, but didn't they have some matches while Punk was champion, or he didn't want John Cena to be champion again, or something like that?
As a shoot or a work?
As a work, when they're working a program, whatever.
It could have been, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there was. But why would John Cena just tweet that? Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, what happened on the WWE website is that they put CM Punk's profile back up on there. So
why would they want something like that up where he may be back? You think that it's since his UFC attempt so far is not going so well?
Well, did you hear, and I don't know how much of this is true or not, but apparently he had about 16 matches.
About 14, 15 fights.
And he lost 14
of them.
Yeah, 15.
He won one fight.
He only won one, however.
And he's having back surgery.
Yeah.
He already had it, and I guess he's recovering from that. I guess it wasn't too super extreme of a surgery, but...
Yeah, because I guess his first fight has been announced for sometime this year.
Right.
So
it was 196, or was it going to be UFC 200?
Is that
something like that? One of those two.
No, okay, all right. But anyways, I mean, I don't know. That's just weird. I mean, but he's still considered to be under contract
with
UFC.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know. But so was Ronda Rousey, and she still showed up.
When she was at WrestleMania.
I don't know if she's still eligible to wrestle or do anything in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So
I think she still has to pass that physical, because doesn't the UFC have some sort of like time period where you can't fight after a certain fight?
I think so. I don't know.
To allow recovery time, so you're not just jumping right back in there in case you have another like a concussion or something like that.
Right.
So.
But I don't know. It's just weird that all of a sudden all that happened.
And it's weird that he's trying to be a little pot stir.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who, John Cena or CM Punk?
I think Cena. I mean, why would he have a reason to do that about CM Punk unless he's...
I don't know.
And then all of a sudden, boom, he's back on the alumni section.
Yeah.
I mean...
And plus, too, we do have WrestleMania coming up.
Yes, we do. And they need all the help and surprises they can get.
God, yeah. Yes, they do.
Given we'll talk about the matches so far later on.
On Raw, yeah. Well, it all came together on Raw.
Yeah, again, it all ties into Raw. So.
Yep. So, I don't know. That's just... To me, that was just weird. It was just way too weird for me. And speaking of Raw, I guess apparently that beatdown that happened with Roman...
Yes, at the end.
He had to undergo surgery for a broken nose, or a shattered nose, as they called it.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know how much truth to that is, but I guess Roman posted a picture of him with his nose all taped up. No.
No. When you get into surgery, he had the little thing over his bridge of his nose.
It was that was it. Yeah, wasn't Virgil's mask the whole face?
No, well, for a little while, yeah. But then towards the end, I think Virgil had a smaller one.
Did he?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It didn't remind me
He's
of
a nut job as it is.
Oh God, we don't get about him and his little message to Sasha Banks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up with that? But yeah, they said that it was a they quoted it as a shattered nose.
Okay.
Not a broken nose. They said a shattered nose. So whatever.
Okay, what's the difference?
But the thing is, like I said, on Raw, there was some other things that had happened about that we'll talk about later on.
Yes, we will.
So, actually, more on it. There's video out too of Vince McMahon dropping the F-bomb.
And it's unedited video.
Yeah, it's unedited. But apparently, it was okayed through the USA Network for him to drop that F-bomb.
To make it look more realistic.
Well, they want to make Raw more edgier now.
Well, which is good because they need that back.
Yeah.
Look how Edge and Christian were at Fastlane.
Yeah.
Look how edgy they let him go, and then Edge, shower in the New Day with dollar bills and just, that stuff was fun, and the language they're allowed to use. But if you notice lately that the PG crap isn't working, but yet when Edge and Christian do stuff like that, or you hear, at your storylines like that, and the fans go nuts for it, and they chant, we'll talk another one out, and we'll let it slip, and we'll talk about it later, because, it's the most exciting thing I think we have to talk about this week, or one of them anyway.
Yeah, well, but the thing is that they're trying to say that they want to make Raw more edgier, but only until WrestleMania. And then after that, they're going to go back to PG. I don't know how true. I don't know how true that is, but I'd say keep it that way.
If it's working, and obviously they already got the okay to do the F-bomb. So I'm sure that's not going to be a common occurrence unless Austin's there. But
but then again, I think I said it in the last podcast too that they are on a 5-second delay.
They are. I think it's like a 5 to 7 second delay.
Yeah. So who knows? I just hope that they do because they need to do something. Because I'm telling you right now, what happened on Raw, I think Shane meant every word that he said.
Oh yeah, it looked real. He didn't look like he was scripting. He looked intent on saying it the way he was saying it and coming across at whatever way he had to come across.
yeah. But anyways, we'll talk more about that later on. There was like I said, it's just crazy how much stuff that's going on. So, but now on Pawn Stars, I remember the
Hall of Fame ring.
Hall of Fame
who was
ring.
it?
You didn't hear who it was?
No.
Well, they were spreading rumors around that it was Sunny.
Okay, so I remember we were guessing about that, but it wasn't Sunny.
But it wasn't Sunny. She kept posting stuff on Facebook and Twitter and saying, "You guys are, jerks for thinking that it was me, this and that." So I thought she sold her ring already.
Right.
So I think she still has it.
As of now, last I knew, yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I watched the episode, and it was Paul Bearer's ring. It's crazy, right?
And didn't one of Paul Bearer's sons pass away not long after?
Yeah,
after his Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, but the guy that was selling the ring said he was a friend of the family's.
I don't know. That's pretty cool in a sense, but that's rather creepy.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little disturbing. It's like
he wasn't related. He wasn't nothing. He was just a friend of the family. Mm-hmm. So
no.
So, anyways,
that's a surprise.
Yeah. So on the episode, Rick asked the guy. He goes, "Okay, so how much do you want? How much do you want for the ring?" And he goes, $10,000. And Rick looked at him and he goes, "I don't even sell Super Bowl rings that much, or World Series rings." He goes, "This is kind of," he went through his whole schmoz of, explaining why it's not going to be that much and this and that. So
right.
Rick counter offered with $4,000.
Hey, either which way, whether it's a legit ring or a fake
it was
ring.
Legit.
Oh, it was legit. It came with like a little certificate.
Well, I don't know if it did. They showed the ring. They showed Paul Bearer's name inside the ring. It was engraved.
All right.
So, and that didn't look like a botched job. It looked professional.
Okay.
And it has to be true because there was no comments from anybody in the Paul Bearer's side of the family saying that, no, that's not the ring. I don't know why they did that. But you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
But either which way for that guy, if it was a real or fake, he's making money on it.
Yeah.
which
yeah.
seems a little way too fishy.
Is it $10,000 worth though?
I don't think any Hall of Famer has gotten $10,000 for
For a
any
ring?
they sold.
Oh.
I mean, maybe $4 or $5 grand, $6 if you're lucky, due to the fact of the company it is and whatever's used,
And plus who the person is, too.
Exactly, it's all name power.
Yeah. That is just, I don't know. It's just weird. All right, now, a lot of rumors going around.
All right, what do we got?
One of the main rumors that struck my eye was that Finn Balor is rumored to be called up to the main roster by the end of the year. Triple H wants to keep him on NXT because he wants him to be the face of NXT.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. No complaints there.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather see him before the end of the year. I'd rather see him before WrestleMania. I'd rather see him at WrestleMania or after WrestleMania. Why do I got to wait till the end of the freaking year for Finn Balor? He's 36 years old.
That's true.
His time, in wrestling years, he don't got that much
he's up
time
there
left.
already. I mean,
If they want to give him an impact, they got to do it now.
Right.
They want him to impact Raw, they got to do it now.
I mean, he's definitely being an impact of Raw. I mean, I see him as the face of NXT, and that's something that NXT needs to hold on to for a while. Also, while they're also building up their newer guys. Too.
I was going to say they got newer guys they can do that with.
So while they're picking out the next Finn Balor of NXT, have him stick around there a little bit longer, help bring those guys up and work programs with them, and make sure to get them up for that.
Now, let me ask you a question though. With all the talent that they got on NXT, they got Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin.
Sami Zayn's not the face.
That's what I'm saying. Normally about WrestleMania time, they either like a week or so before WrestleMania or after WrestleMania, then they start calling up some guys on the NXT level. Who do you think is going to get called up?
My one pick, I see Samoa Joe having.
Okay.
It's been rumored, or it's been tossed around. I'm sure you may have read about it that that he's due to be called up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much more they can do with him in NXT.
Right.
But I see Sami Zayn again.
Yeah. He should have been called up a while ago, but unfortunately he had that injury too.
Right.
So I mean,
and his return at the Rumble proved that he's ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's good. But anyway, now back to Finn Balor. In regards to the Bullet Club, he posted a teaser, I guess, on Twitter, suggesting the name be called Bulletproof to replace the original Bullet Club clique.
Right, because there's still the Bullet Club in Japan. Right?
Yeah, but Japan doesn't own the rights to the name.
I don't know if they own the rights to the name now, but I know that Kenny Omega is still.
Does he?
He's running like a Bullet Club over in Japan still.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that could be. I mean, I don't know. It could be. I mean, you never know with Finn Balor though. He loves posting crazy stuff to get people wondering anyway. So I don't know.
Did that with John Cena recently? Also had some fun just messing around tweet wise.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. So.
And that goes back to the John Cena CM Punk thing. Maybe it's just another one of them things where how Cena and Balor were just exchanging it back and forth.
Yeah.
Whatever, whatnot.
Who knows? So another rumor going around is about Goldberg. Did you hear about that one?
That he wants to fight Lesnar?
No. That he was apparently he was in negotiations with WWE to appear at WrestleMania. Okay, but Goldberg put a quick squash to that, and he commented stating that the WWE has not been in contact with me. But the thing of it is, the rumor is still going around, even after he said that, basically saying that Goldberg is going to be the one facing The Undertaker at Mania to replace Shane. When we talk about Raw,
yeah,
and the reason why I wanted to talk about this, is because of what happened on Raw.
Right.
Okay. When we get to talking about Raw, you'll see why, and it could be legit. It could not be legit. I could be wrong. I don't know. Those are the rumors that's going around, and it keeps circulating around the internet. Should I believe it or not? I don't know, but what happened on Raw, like I said, when we talk about it, you'll see where I'm coming from, and then you'll be like, you know what, that could make sense. We'll see. We'll see. The only injury report, another thing going around too, in the injury report is Tyson Kidd may be forced to retire.
Another Daniel Bryan situation.
Yeah. Well, this was the surgery of his neck. Yeah,
he's had how many neck surgeries?
Who, Tyson Kidd?
Yeah. Is this his first one or is this the second one?
I think this is his first one. He had torn his ACL. I think that was the only major one he had. And then now the neck injury, which It's pretty much like with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, you know, he's not being cleared by doctors, so he might be forced to retire.
Well, that's not good. I mean, well, that's not good for any superstar who has to deal with that type of situation, as we know with Daniel Bryan and everything. So, if it is the end for Tyson Kidd, it's sad because he's got so many years left. He's really good.
Yeah.
One of the last original dungeon classes, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, and he's still.
Yep.
I don't even think is he in his 30s yet.
He might be.
You know,
he might be something you got to look up.
But
even still, that's
30s.
still
He's still got plenty of time.
A
He's got
lot
like
of time.
15 more years left.
Yeah.
I mean, Jericho's 45. Look what he's still doing.
Jericho's 45. Same age as me.
Yeah. Old.
All right, so that's all I got for news, rumors, and injury report. I wanted to say, before we talk about Fastlane, very good news that came up that we found out is that now we're in Germany. I don't know much about. I don't know. I lived in Germany. You figured I would know some of the language, but I don't. I know how to say thank you, which is danke, and you're welcome and stuff like that. But
the only German I know is from Rammstein.
Yeah, but it's good to know we're starting to spread out in Germany, which is cool. We're also on Facebook at Wrestling POV Podcast at Facebook, and on Twitter we're Wrestling POV, and now we're on Podbean, so you can check us out there, subscribe to us there, and we're also on iTunes, so you can definitely subscribe to that and listen to us anytime you want. If you have any suggestions, I suggest that you do it either on Twitter or if you can post them on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. They can also post the comments on the YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
So we both check that. So either one of us will get back, or at least see them.
Yep.
So
make your suggestions, make your comments, and we'll try to get them on the air. So
tell us whatever you want to tell us.
Exactly. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about the Fastlane pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. There's lots to talk about with that. I'm very disappointed, but like I said, we'll go to commercial and then we'll come right back.
Calvary Contracting is a locally owned family business. Our outstanding track record continues because we understand that quality and excellence can be achieved with proper communication and planning. Our commitment to excellence is built on teamwork and the belief that partnering your vision with our experience will lead to sterling results. We specialize in kitchen and bathroom remodels from design to completion, hardwood floors installation and refinishing, or custom tile work. Whether it be home remodeling, restoration, or building out your new office space, how can we serve you? Call us today at 669-6583 or find us at calvaryserves.com. That's 669-6583 or calvaryserves.com, where we work on a higher standard.
And we're back now. What a commercial break that was.
That was wonderful. That was a nice breather.
Yeah, it was. Anyways, now we got Fastlane. What do you think overall of Fastlane before we go on and break it down?
Glorified Raw.
Really?
That's it.
I think it was probably one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen in my life.
Well, to me, it didn't feel like a pay-per-view. It felt like a glorified episode.
There was so many things wrong with that pay-per-view. It's unreal.
Do we have enough time to talk about what was wrong with that pay-per-view?
Yeah, we do. We're going to break it down real quick.
Right.
And but I just wanted to get that off my chest first. It was probably one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen. I gave it a rating of 4. And that was me being nice.
I was going to go about 3.5.
Really? Yeah, almost 4. So
roughly that.
It wasn't that good.
No, it was not at all.
I was highly disappointed, and it had nothing to do with the Roman Reigns thing either.
No.
So,
which we will talk about.
Yeah. So the first match during the pre-show, it was Kalisto versus Del Rio. 2 out of 3 falls.
What didn't you and I have a discussion like how are they going to make that work on the pre-show?
Yep.
And if you notice, it was either you or I brought up like the first fall is going to be quick, and it kind of was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's the only way they're going to fit that into a half-hour pre-show. Is it the end of that? Which is not bad. I mean, they put on okay matches, but it's time to end it.
It was a decent match, though. It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't spectacular.
No, I don't know. I guess I wanted it more out of that match.
Right.
Especially with Kalisto. But I get it. It's a giant of a man like Del Rio fighting against somebody tiny like Kalisto. And yeah, so of course, Del Rio has to be more the dominant one. It can't be too much of the high flying stuff on Kalisto's part, which is understandable. I was expecting more. I'm not saying I was disappointed with the match. I wanted more out of the match.
Yeah, definitely.
And I didn't get it. It just went boom, 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 quick, done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. There's more that happened, and once we're done talking about it, I'll tell you the overall thing.
All right.
Then there was Sasha and Becky versus Tamina and Naomi. It wasn't the best Divas match I've ever seen. No. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Not at all.
The fans wanted more of Sasha, which is
which is good for Sasha.
That's good for Sasha, yeah. So I mean, you're kind of looking at it as at WrestleMania, it's gonna be Sasha and and Charlotte. Okay. That's what it looks like. Looks like. I mean, something else happened on Raw, so who knows? That was another one. It was to me that was just, and I don't want to sound chauvinistic or anything, but I think that should have been the pre-show match.
Okay.
But there's also something else that happened on the pay-per-view that could have been on the pre-show too. But we'll talk about that in a second. But like I said, it wasn't that to me. That wasn't like the only pop of that match. It was just the fact of the fans chanting for Sasha. And Sasha did shine.
Right.
Becky Lynch did her thing. To me,
what it was.
It was. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't. It was. I don't know.
Next match.
If they did without that match, I wouldn't have been like complaining about it.
No. They could have thrown some bonus match in there just for the heck of it, like they've done on pay-per-views in the past.
They've done it before. Yeah. So next is for the IC title. It was Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler.
I enjoyed this match.
I did too.
It was one of the better ones that they've had.
That they have together.
And the crowd loved the match.
And it went on for about 15 minutes. So I was kind of shocked with that. It was a little too long, I thought, but not. You can tell that they were running out of ideas.
Right.
But, I mean, it was still a good match. I mean, but to me, though, in my opinion, I think Kevin Owens carried that match.
Yeah.
And he's really good at that. Ziggler, on the other hand, he oversells like crazy, and why does he continue to do that?
I don't know. It was good when Shawn Michaels did it. It was good with Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect had the best crazy sell there ever was. And he does remind me of Mr. Perfect a little bit when Dolph does it. But
yeah, that's true.
Then again, he reminds me of like 13 Mr. Perfects doing it at the same time.
Yeah. But I mean, there was somebody else posted on Facebook. I saw it was Mr. Perfect versus the Texas Tornado. And oh my God, did he ever sell on that? With the punches and the
SummerSlam 90.
I don't know if it was it might have been a regular match, but because they fought a few times.
Yeah.
But just the overselling that Mr. Perfect did,
it was like
perfect.
a 720.
Not to sound cliche, but it was perfect.
Yeah,
it was funny as hell. So, but I think Ziggler. When Ziggler does it, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And it could be my hatred for Ziggler. I don't know.
You seem to hate a lot of wrestlers these days.
Not a lot. I just can't stand Ziggler. He overacts with everything that he does. Stop already. Oh my God, just go away.
He's doing the hand motions you're doing right now.
Yeah, but it was a good match though. I thought it was a good match. I just hope that part of it is squashed and done. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, it was a 6-man tag. It was the Wyatts versus Big Show, Kane, and Ryback with Bray sitting by the commentary table.
Yeah, okay. All right.
To me, that was just a little weird. It was a pay-per-view. Why would you not involve Bray Wyatt?
I mean, he had a little bit of involvement at the end, but it's a valid point. I mean, why have I hate to say it this way towards the other guys in the Wyatts, but the star power of the Wyatts, the breakout guy of the Wyatts. Like the attention getter is just just sitting there.
Yeah,
I mean, he should have gotten a lot more physically involved.
Yeah,
he had the psychological thing like Jake the Snake. That's something I could see Jake the Snake doing.
Mm-hmm.
What Bray Wyatt did. It didn't effectively use Bray for what he's gotten himself known for.
Yeah. To me, it was just weird that he just sat out there. If it was Raw and he did that, I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But being that this was a pay-per-view, I was kind of like, shouldn't you be in this match?
Right.
But the match was good, though.
It was very good.
To me, it was good. I was like, all right, I can dig this now. I'm not a big fan of the 6-man tag, but it was really good. It was, to me, I was entertained.
Mm-hmm. And have you noticed that, Big Show, I mean, he's teeter-tottering on the whole retiring thing. Fans getting tired of him. I mean, he's been really
Big
coming
Show?
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's been really coming through lately.
Yeah.
If you notice,
that is true, yeah.
I mean, not as much as he would have in the past, but I mean, he's still trying to be relevant. He's still trying to be the monster he was, but...
Yeah, that is true. But anyways, the winners did end up being Ryback, Big Show, and Kane. Of course, something happened on Raw again, and then we'll wait on that when it comes up. So the next match
was so hard this week.
I know, right? Jesus. So then there was a Divas match. It was Charlotte versus Brie. That match was better than what I expected to be.
I mean, I had a feeling that Charlotte was going to come out, regardless.
Now, do you think Charlotte carried that match or Brie?
Well, I was definitely Charlotte.
Yeah.
And no disrespect towards Brie, but definitely that was a Charlotte.
Yeah,
match.
but you notice Ric Flair really didn't do anything.
I know he kind of looked like he didn't really want to be out there. He was not like the hyper, little spunky guy manager he's been lately.
Right. There was a lot of mistakes. Well, not a lot. There was a few mistakes that was happening. A lot of miscues too.
Yeah.
So I mean, could that have been? I mean,
Ric Flair's WTF moment, or
no? I'm trying to remember. There was a few miscues. I mean, talking about during the match, but it was really noticeable. You have to watch it again to see. Now, did somebody bleed? Somebody was bleeding because
Becky. I know Becky got like on the back of her elbow.
Becky,
not Becky Lynch. I mean, sorry.
Brie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, Becky, when'd she come out of this?
Wouldn't you rather say Becky versus Charlotte? No.
Yeah. Well,
it don't matter. We all win when they all fight. But anyhow, it seems. I believe it was Brie, like at the back of her elbow, like right above the back of her elbow.
Okay.
One of them.
Yeah, because all of a sudden I saw the ref with the gloves on, and I'm like,
I was like, what the hell? I see no blood, but then then I caught a shot. Like I remember watching a pay-per-view of the back of her elbow. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But the shot of the elbow, it looked like the blood was already dried. It was like had enough like friction from everything going on.
Oh, really?
I was like, there's no blood. I'm like, why are you standing there all like coated up like you're?
Yeah, because I was looking for it. As soon as I saw the ref with the gloves on, I was looking to see who was bleeding, and not for a while I saw, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I did see Brie with the blood on her elbow, and I was like,
it looked dried, or like it was, or the wound was like out in the air long enough where it's like, all right, you got the surface blood off of it.
Yeah, it was. Well, but anyways,
she's hardcore. No, she's not.
No. And she was wearing Daniel Bryan's
kick pads, which I thought were neat.
That was neat. Looked way too big on her.
I know. It looks like they had to be sewn onto her boots just so they didn't fly off her. It looked like she had one of those windsuits on where you go jump out the mountain and you get a little flight suit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The squirrel suit or something.
Yeah,
like
squirrel suit, yep.
Yeah. So, anyway, Charlotte ended up winning that match. So, I'm really hoping that, that part of it is over with, too. To me, my whole thing is this Fastlane pay-per-view should have ended a lot of things and started things, leading to WrestleMania. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%.
So, that's why I said, like I said, with the whole Kalisto and Del Rio, I hope that's done.
I don't think there's going to be a WrestleMania moment for him.
For who? Kalisto?
Kalisto and Del Rio?
No. Something's got to happen with Kalisto. That I think that what happened. Yeah, that what happened on Raw. Yeah. I hope something will happen. But anyways, we'll go straight to the rubber match: AJ versus Jericho.
I love that match.
Did you?
I'm a fan of both of them.
It was a lot of back and forth.
A lot of back and forth. It told a good story. The crowd ate it up. There's no denying it.
They did.
They loved it. They loved what they saw.
And you know what was weird to me was that I kind of figured that AJ would get a bigger pop than Jericho. Right. But to me, it was kind of even.
It was.
Especially with the chant, let's go AJ, let's go Jericho, or whatever they said. And that went on a lot during that match. And
it was it was a reminiscent to Rock and Hogan.
Yeah. But I'm thinking that AJ should have gotten a bigger pop, but hey, who knows? Whatever.
It is what it is, but
to me, I was entertained with that match. It was a lot of back and forth. Now there was a lot of miscues in that match too.
Oh, of course.
Did you see some of them?
I saw some.
The timing was off a little bit. And nothing against Jericho, but I think his age had to do with it.
Oh, yeah.
You're fighting a younger guy like AJ who's a step ahead. You're trying to beat. Yeah, so I noticed that, and but it was still a good match. It just seems like AJ was a step ahead of Jericho. So I'm hoping that AJ ended up winning, but I'm also hoping that's going to put a squash on that feud too.
I see like a little Step Brothers like tag team with these two.
Did we just become friends?
Yup. Exactly. But that's what it feels like. It's like, all right, they got the respect, the mutual respect there, and they went through, they had their matches. I see these as a once in a while tag team.
Jericho and AJ?
I see that as like pulling them out of the woods.
What with WrestleMania coming up? You think they're going to do that
after WrestleMania, just before like Jericho's contract ends, whenever it ends this time.
It depends on what they're going to do with AJ too now. Especially if they're going to put a squash to this. Got to see where they're going with it. I mean, I'm hoping that they kind of drift away with Jericho, let him go do something else, work another program with somebody else, but and put AJ in a whole new different one where it's going to make him shine. That's the route they need to go to with him.
I read something where there's a possibility of Kevin Owens. Sorry, I still call him Kevin Steen sometimes. I apologize, but I guess he was posting like an idea, or he was talking with somebody, some interview that he was saying that he would like to face AJ Styles.
Kevin Owens? Yeah, on a tweet, actually, he put something like, don't you think I won't fight AJ over my title, or don't push AJ towards my title, or something like that, 'cause I'll beat him up. Yeah, I did see that.
That would be WrestleMania right there. That would be.
You know what? And honestly, granted, at WrestleMania they always have 2 or 3 main events. That should be one of them.
It should be right before the world title.
Right before the world, exactly.
It should go Divas title, IC title, world title.
Yeah.
Get the Divas later in the card, or they shouldn't open the WrestleMania with a Divas title match.
No.
It should never come close to the main event either, though.
Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Now, the one thing I noticed at the pay-per-view, at Fastlane pay-per-view, there was a huge gap, because by the time that rubber match was done, it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's a big gap. Now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, the next match is the main event.
Yeah, they're
going to fight for an hour?
It felt like something was like, wait a minute, we're missing like a match or two here.
But the thing is, and then I remembered, I was like, oh shoot, wait a minute, no, they're going to do the Edge and Christian show with the New Day coming out. Now, there was a rumor too that came out saying that with the New Day coming out, Enzo Amore and Big Cass from NXT was supposed to interrupt in that match to set up a feud. Yeah, to set up a feud between them two. So that never happened, obviously, because who came out? The League of Nations came out.
Right.
Now, okay, New Day's a heel. League of Nations is a heel. Now that's being rumored that they're going to have a match at WrestleMania and not for the belt. So that to me
makes no sense whatsoever.
No, that belt, they didn't even defend it on Fastlane.
Yeah, I was wondering why. It's like
they had no storyline to lead to Fastlane to defend the titles. They had no match. They were freaking on the show. That was, to me, that was the dumbest thing. They were better off doing that segment and having those 2 NXT guys, Enzo and Big Cass, interrupt. That crowd would have popped huge for them guys.
And if you even could have set up for like a possible triangle match.
Triangle with who?
New Day. At the pay-per-view, you had New Day, the Enzo
at Fastlane or at WrestleMania
or at Fastlane. When New Day was out there, whatever in the League.
It could have, but that could have, like I had told you before,
or a match for Raw.
It could have started a new storyline to lead to WrestleMania.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But right now, as far as New Day goes, there's nothing leading to them at WrestleMania except for these rumors that they're going to fight the League of Nations at WrestleMania. 6-man tag now. Not for the tag team titles, but a 6-man tag. Really?
Why would you not want a tag title match on the biggest stage of them all?
Exactly. I mean, but again, it's just rumors, so I don't know if that's really true or not. They might go with a different angle. I don't know, but to me, that whole segment right there, and it's not. I love Edge and Christian; those guys are funny as hell, but they went too long with that segment. It went a half hour, almost a half an hour. Between them doing that and plugging the show after the pay-per-view so you can watch their show, and having New Day come out, and then they were talking their junk, and then the League of Nations came out. doing their, whatever they were talking about. And then as, the one part where Edge was like, all right, well, we'll leave you two guys alone. And then they started walking out. And then all of a sudden the New Day walks out and starts making fun of League of Nations. And then Edge and Christian was going along with the New Day. That whole segment did not make sense at all.
It wasn't in the start. It felt like New Day and Edge and Christian were going to get into it. And
it did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then that would have been perfect opportunity, especially when New Day was, I think it was Xavier Woods, was talking about the teams that they beaten. That would have been perfect right there. And
for the debut.
For the debut of them. Edge could have been like, well, you really haven't beaten this team. And then boom, here comes Enzo talking on the mic. That crowd would have went crazy. They would have went nuts. And that segment would have made it that much more better if those two guys from NXT showed up to challenge New Day.
I agree, but do you also see it as a possibility that they're saving it for the after WrestleMania Raw, where they sometimes have debuts or like big things happen?
It could be. It could be. I mean,
that's still
at
a
WrestleMania, like if something happens at WrestleMania, like let's just say it does end up being New Day versus League of Nations. And if New Day wins, I can see them talking crap the next day on Raw, saying, "Listen, we beat every team," and then have them guys come out. Yeah, it just would have. To me, it would have been better doing it out at the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean, to lead up to WrestleMania, just as something that because you know how Vince is. He wants every match to be great, and to me, if that rumor is true that it's gonna be New Day versus League of Nations, I'm sorry, that's gonna be one of the boringest matches I'm ever gonna see. Not discrediting any one of them.
Star match.
Yeah, it's just to me they overexposed.
There's nothing.
Yeah, they overexposed New Day too much. They gotten way too much TV time. Now they look like. To me, I can't take them serious because they clown around way too much. You want these guys to be a heel, and you want them on their top of their game as a tag team and the champion. I don't take them serious. Why should any team take them serious? You know what I'm saying? They got to do something before then or after or something, because it's them and League of Nations. That's what it looks like right now.
Hey, if it goes that way, it goes that way. I mean, it gives at least payday out for all of them.
Yeah,
at least they get on the show. But I don't see the point of the match. I mean, it does nothing. Neither one of them can go anywhere with that match.
Well, especially with all the injuries that's out there right now, you're going to put Sheamus, Del Rio, Rusev, and Wade Barrett involved in one little segment with three of the with New Day. Makes no sense. You're killing that right there. You're wasting three people, their time. You're wasting their time now. Because who knows if it's going to be Sheamus or Del Rio, and I don't know who the other one would be, but one of them's going to have to sit out. It's going to be a 6-man tag. It's not going to be a tag team. I mean, but again, like I said, those were just rumors.
Right.
So I don't know. To me, that Fastlane pay-per-view, that segment was so boring, made no sense, wasted a lot of time. And I could be bragging, exaggerating about the time but I'm sorry, it was 10 o'clock. I looked at the time. It was 10 o'clock, and then they were doing this segment. So by the time, maybe they went 20 minutes. I could be wrong, 25 minutes. But
it was
still,
long regardless.
That's too long. Because even at the main event, that still was, that they didn't go that long either.
No.
So, all right. But speaking of the main event,
here we are.
It was Brock versus Dean versus Roman. And whoever won is the number one contender and would fight Triple H at WrestleMania. Obviously, Dean was the favorite.
Right. And it looked like he was going to be coming right out of it. I mean, it looked like he had the crowd.
Yeah.
He had the crowd side. I don't know.
It was a good match, though.
Right.
It wasn't that bad. I pictured Dean and Roman teaming up to do something to Brock, and they did a couple times. Put him through the table.
That was not. You got to admit, it was a little comical when Dean buried him with the table pieces.
That was funny.
I'm glad they added the little humor in, but
but unfortunately at the end, well, not unfortunately, but it did look like Dean was going to win.
Yeah.
Roman came in with a spear, boom, knocked him. Now he's the number one contender.
Oh.
And Triple H came out. And of course, they had to do the little pose in front of the WrestleMania sign. So that made it obvious that that's going to be the main event at WrestleMania.
So, yeah, there was a little beatdown then, too, wasn't there?
The pay-per-view? No,
that's right.
No.
I thought, for a second.
No, that whole thing was just to pose in front of the WrestleMania sign.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah, it's like maybe I just felt like something was going to happen. Just watching it felt like something was going to happen.
Yep.
But no, that was not like a little slip up for later. It was just more so, overthinking or underthinking.
Yeah.
Overrated, underrated, I thought.
But yeah, so my, like I said in the beginning, my overall rating for that Fastlane pay-per-view was a big old 4.
I'm going to have to go 3.5. I'm not going to give it a 4.
Yeah. I gave it a 4. I mean, just because of some of the cheap pops some of them were getting.
Right.
That was it. I'm not going no higher than 4, and me giving them a 4 was just being nice. So that was it. So now, the biggest news of them all. What happened the next day on Raw?
All right.
Now, but actually, Raw opened up with
the Vincent J.
A fan's
the video
cell phone camera, the video of Dean getting jumped by Brock Lesnar. As soon as that happened, I knew right away. Okay, that's the match at WrestleMania. Even though I wanted to kind of see Dean versus Kevin Owens, because Dean and he still hasn't gotten his
he's not taking his rematch clause,
so I kind of thought that's where they were going to go with it on Raw.
Okay.
But obviously because the thing of it is all over the internet. It was all over the internet about Raw. They said you have to watch Raw from beginning to end. Because it's going to be that much. The Raw was going to be unreal. So I'm like, okay, what's going on with this? Then they showed that clip of Dean getting jumped by Brock. Dean got shipped out by the ambulance, and obviously you knew that that match is going to be happening at WrestleMania. So they showed that clip, and then of course now Vince is in the ring to announce the Vincent J. McMahon. What award was it?
Excellency Award.
Something like that.
Award of Excellence.
Award.
I thought it was going to be for and I thought, all right, this looked like this don't look like a typical setup. This could be for someone legit.
Yeah, but you know what though? Honestly, it caught me off guard. It really did. I thought, all right. I mean, I knew something was going to happen, but I didn't expect
what
really happened. So, anyways, he announced that the winner of that award would go to Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie comes out, she gets heavily booed. Oh my Lord, everybody was like, I thought they were going to riot. And it was just funny. It was just really funny. So she tries to give us her speech, and then she tells Vince to hold the microphone, and then she grabs a little book, and then all of a sudden,
here comes the money.
Could anybody have gotten wow. Before I even commented about Shane McMahon's return, I got to comment on how awesome that was just now, but corny as could be.
It was. Come on, man. Everybody and their brother marked out the minute they heard that music.
I flipped out. It was unbelievable. Like
I'm sitting there, I'm clapping, I marked out.
It's like, all right, what's he doing here? I don't care. Shane McMahon.
The thing is, he had about a 10-minute ovation.
I know.
I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
SHANOMAC.
Yeah.
And he got a "You Still Got It" chant from him. He
didn't even do anything.
Yeah, like welcome back, welcome back. Everything. The feels were there.
Yeah, I mean, Christ, he was gone for what, 6-7 years?
Yeah, exactly.
And to get an ovation like that, that's crazy.
And it makes sense having him there in the sense of it could be congratulations, but we found out it wasn't for that.
No. So
that's about the only way I saw that as making sense for him to be there. But then, the crowd just wouldn't let him speak.
No.
He didn't even bother raising the mic to himself while the crowd was going.
No. He didn't. I mean, the crowd, and I think you know what it was. Him coming out, the crowd knew that there was about to be some kind of change.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sorry to say, when he finally got the chance to talk, and he was saying how the reason why he's there is because ratings were down, stock prices are down, and all these injuries are up, and all this other stuff.
All under Steph's
watch. I'm like, all right, what is going on here?
I'm loving it.
This is a little interesting to me,
About time it did something good.
Exactly, So apparently 6 years ago, Vince was under some deep water, and he went to Shane for a little help. And I guess Shane had to bail him out. So under those circumstances, Shane, I guess he's like a principal owner, I guess you want to say.
I don't think he ever lost his part with the company, like his ownership, did he?
In real life?
Yeah.
Actually, I think in real life he was like CEO, and then he dropped down because he wanted to do something else.
So he dropped completely out?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he wanted to do something else. He wanted to do, I think it had something to do with motorcycles.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Right.
It's somewhere in the city, and because he was not lying when he said he opened up a couple businesses, and he did. And I know one of them, I'm 100% positive, one of them is a motorcycle shop or something like that.
Okay.
And I don't know what the other businesses is. I think one of them has to do with something in Japan.
In China.
China,
it's like a YouTube, not YouTube, but it's like a network.
Yeah, something like that. So he was busy. He was still making money.
Right.
So now to me, him coming back, did that help? Did it hurt?
Oh, it helped. I don't think there's even a question of if it helped.
Right.
Because you saw. It's obviously what the fans loved happened, that they wanted something like that, and they got something huge.
Yeah.
And like you said, he got a Hogan like John Cena. Well, when they liked John Cena,
Daniel Bryan actually.
Daniel Bryan.
Who do you think the ovation was bigger, Daniel Bryan's
or
Shane?
Oh.
Now, see, another thing is that a lot of people are saying they're not really acknowledging Shane as a wrestler. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's a wrestler, or do you think he's just one of those
guys that's thrown in there, because of his attitude,
backyard wrestler type deal,
But it shows that he's brave enough to do anything and everything.
Yeah. Well, I remember a lot of those matches, boy. Let me tell you,
him and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, Ooh. Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah,
he even fought the Undertaker.
Yes, he did.
He even fought the Undertaker a few times. So.
But Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. So, but before we get into that, so Vince is, I guess Shane has more control than Vince.
Yeah.
So Vince is like, you know what? I want that control back. Or after Shane said he wants to control Raw, he wants to, run Raw. And Vince was like, you know what? Let's make it a match. And I just need you to accept or whatever. And Shane accepted. And then Vince, goes, well, your opponent's going to be the Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell.
Right.
So back to what you were saying in the Hell in a Cell, that's a big deal.
I don't see the Undertaker losing at WrestleMania, but I don't see this as a clean him winning either. I see this.
But do you really see this match even happening?
I think going back remember the Cole Goldberg thing?
Yeah.
That could be the way last minute turn.
Oh, what I mentioned about Goldberg earlier?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, that was what I was going to get at.
Nice.
Was that this is just a plant job, to see what people are I don't know. The thing is, I would like to see this match.
Undertaker and Shane?
Yeah, at a Hell in a Cell. The only problem I have is that, like what you said, number one's going to be in Dallas.
Yeah.
Undertaker's from Texas. It's in a big dome like that,
Over 100,000 possible people.
And on top of that, Undertaker is a baby face.
No matter where you put the Undertaker, he's
exactly. So now you're going to put him where Shane just got off a huge ovation. So obviously he is a baby face. You're going to do babyface versus babyface for control of Raw at a major pay-per-view like WrestleMania in the Hell in a Cell? Are you kidding me right now?
That's insane.
It is insane, and that's why I'm trying to say that the whole thing with Goldberg, I think this is just a plant job where because they got 5 weeks left?
Yeah.
4 weeks left before WrestleMania? Something's going to happen. Now, mind you, over some of these sites, they're saying that Shane McMahon is working out and this and that. But as much as I want to see this match, I kind of don't want to see it either. Right. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense.
So I think something is going to happen between now and WrestleMania. Could be next week, could be this weekend, this Monday on Raw. I think something's going to happen to where Shane's either going to get hurt or something, and then or another scenario could be that because Undertaker's supposed to be on Raw on Monday.
Yes.
So he can come out and say, you know what, Vince, I'm not going to fight for you. Screw that. I'd rather fight with Shane. And then Vince can come out and says, well, I guess I'm going to have to pick somebody else up, to wrestle you. And he mentions Goldberg.
That could work. Yeah.
Or vice versa. If Shane supposedly gets hurt, can't wrestle at WrestleMania, but he wants to be involved. He wants the match to go on, so then he picks Goldberg to face Undertaker. So now you're risking the fact of Undertaker being a babyface again, and you're looking at Goldberg as being a babyface. I don't think Goldberg's ever been a heel, has he? I don't think he has.
When he started in WCW, he was
kind of.
It was a way to bring him in.
He was getting the Steve Austin treatment, so to speak. Yeah. So he was, but he never. I don't think he was a full blown heel.
Yeah, I think there was
like Sting. Sting was never a full blown heel. So anyway, that's my thought about it. I mean, I kind of want to see it, but then I kind of don't, because of that reason of two baby faces fighting in a Hell in a Cell for control over Raw. So
now, do you see the possibility, and this is probably far-fetched, but the possibility of Shane McMahon and The Undertaker teaming up to take over Raw? Do you see the possibility of them working it so where it's like, haha, screw you, Vince?
It could.
I mean, it's like I said, it's far-fetched, but it was just an idea that popped in my head. Get it out there.
It could be. I mean, or it could happen like what I had said before. Even before WrestleMania, Undertaker could look at Vince and be like, I'm not going to do your dirty work. Get out of here. I'd rather fight with Shane than to fight for you. That could happen too. It could happen at the pay-per-view too. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see, especially with The Undertaker being at the end of his rope, so to speak, putting himself out there in a type of match like that. I really don't. I really don't. So, did we mention about the F-bomb? Vince?
We have not brought up the F-bomb. We're not allowed to bring up F-bombs here, remember?
Boy, Vince threw out the F-bomb at Shane. That whole crowd was like, what?
I mean, it was obviously like the crowd was muted, so you knew that was like, oh.
Yeah. He said to Shane,
something about effing beaten.
You're going to get an effing beaten. And the crowd just went, what?
I mean, Vince wasn't. I saw the video of it, or the fan recorded video of it. I mean, Vince wasn't like, oh, you're going to get an effing beaten. It was like, you're going to get an effing beaten.
It was one of those.
It was like grumble. It's like,
it was one of those. So I thought that was awesome. Now I heard reports that Vince, he wants to start making Raw edgier. Now, obviously, of the things that happened on Raw on Monday, it sure hell looks like it. Now, another thing that I heard also was that he wants to make it edgier, but only until WrestleMania.
Another way to build up hype for WrestleMania.
Exactly, yeah. And then I guess go back to the PG era after WrestleMania.
I say if he sticks with just until, or maybe even the Raw after WrestleMania, that he needs to, he just, I don't know. What do you think?
What?
I'm at a point right now. I didn't know where to go with any of that.
No, it's just, to me, it was just, I don't know either. It's just, I'd rather have them keep going with the whole edgier thing.
I mean, sorry.
Not to call it the Attitude Era again, but to call it something else.
That was.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's what's going on with that. There's other things that happened that we don't have time to get to. So, but I do want to talk about what happened with the Brock promo.
Okay.
Yep. So Paul Heyman, he's doing the promo for Brock and saying that Brock needs an opponent for WrestleMania.
Okay.
So
that
what
sets
happened?
Up a lot of possibilities. So.
Yeah, it does. But unfortunately, like I said in the beginning, it was kind of obvious it was going to be Dean.
Right.
So Dean comes in with the ambulance. He tells he's staggering coming in the ring, which I found funny because he was okay to drive, but he couldn't walk a few feet. So he tells Brock that he wants to fight him. Brock comes out, F5s him, says, I accept. So there's the other match for WrestleMania.
Last man standing match, is it, or something like that? Or
no, they didn't say. No, they did not say. So I don't know. we'll see.
Looks like that's what he's asking for.
That would be a good one though. Last man standing. That means he's going to have to do a lot to Brock to win that match. He's going to have to do a lot. He really is.
Especially if they let Brock go nuts like he can.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel sorry for Dean.
Huh?
So I feel sorry for Dean if they let Brock open up.
Oh, jeez, yeah. So anyway, like I said, there was just so much that happened. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was the kind of a rematch, I guess, the Wyatts versus the Big Show, Kane, and Ryback. It was almost a copycat match from the pay-per-view.
Right.
The only difference was that Bray was in the match finally.
Which should have taken place
at the pay-per-view, exactly. So during the match, like almost towards the end of it, Ryback just walks out.
Yeah, what's that all about?
And then the Wyatts win the match. He cuts a promo in the back stating, "It's all about me now. I got nothing else to prove. I beat them guys last night." So I don't know why there was an angle to do that
didn't Ryback do that not long ago or within recent years with Cody Rhodes?
With Axel Curtis
Axel when they were Ryback. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. So what, they're going to turn him heel now? They do need heels.
They do need heels. He wasn't really all that great as a heel, but
no.
I mean, he's not all that great as a face, but
no. I think he's, I don't even know. I was going to say he's probably better off as a heel, but I didn't even like him as a heel. No. He couldn't do that right.
He was boring as a heel.
He was boring.
He's boring now.
He's boring now. Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. I don't know. And during the interview, he quoted about grabbing that brass ring. He's concentrating too much on that. He changed his look. He wants to prove to Vince that he can be the top guy of the company. And to me, it's not going to work.
It could. But
really? You think so?
It all goes back to if it's done right.
That is true.
They can make anybody work.
That's true. I don't know. We'll see what they go with that. So, real quick with the Divas match, Charlotte came out and said to Sasha and Becky that they have to wrestle to see who's the number one contender to fight her at WrestleMania. So, but I think because rumors are going around on the internet, they're saying it's going to be a three-way: Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky. At WrestleMania. Okay. So, I mean, I can see that match.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see that match, to be honest with you, because those are all former NXT girls, and they rocked the house when they were at NXT. Just imagine what they're going to do at WrestleMania.
Right.
So for them three, and it's like I said, I'm not a big fan of triple threat matches, but I think those three can do some justice to that match. So, we'll wait and see.
See if they get the pay-per-view time.
If they get the pay-per-view time, that's right. So, a new induction for the Hall of Fame. The Godfather. Come on. That's awesome. I think that is awesome.
Mr. Charles Wright, I believe his name is, right?
I think, yeah, something like that. So good for him. I'm glad. I'm glad.
It's deserving. He's had to go through some.
He did.
Crap for the Warrior.
Yeah.
Crap for the Warrior. That was just horrible.
Yeah.
But Papa Shango, I love Papa Shango.
That's a good. He still does that gimmick,
He does it on the Indies once in a while, and a little. It's not really little known, but. In '97, he was going to come back as Papa Shango.
Really?
Right before they brought Kane. Introduced Kane. And and this is said by, the Godfather himself in an interview. He had promo pictures done. He had a mask and everything. And he still actually has...
As Papa Shango?
The new... masked version of Papa Shango.
Really?
Yeah, he
I would have loved to have seen that.
He has promo pictures.
Really?
I believe he was saying something. He has some of them.
I would have loved to. You know what would have been a good match? Speaking of him as a fantasy, a little fantasy match.
There we go.
Papa Shango versus the Boogeyman. Come on. That would have been a classic match right there.
Oh, man.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's, happy for him. It's good to see him get his due.
It was good. I'm curious to see what his Hall of Fame speech is going to be like.
Oh, yeah. No wonder why Vince wants to stay with the edgier stuff till after WrestleMania.
That is true.
Just in that induction alone.
Yeah. So the main event, it was Sheamus versus Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Obviously, Reigns came out on top. It was in the match. Triple H comes out and pretty much beats the living daylights out of Roman. Kept bashing his head on the commentary table, and Roman was bleeding out the mouth. Like everywhere, blood was everywhere, and it was like big.
It was like, where did all that come from?
Yeah, it was a really big beatdown, and my problem with it was, and I don't know if Triple H was caught in the moment, but okay, Triple H is supposed to be the heel, obviously, and Roman is supposed to be the face.
Right.
Why was Triple H looking at the crowd like he wanted to get that pop? He could have, like I said, I think he was just caught in the moment, I guess. You know, because he did the DX suck it.
Right.
You know, when he was beating the crap out of Reigns. And, you know, if you're supposed to be a heel,
You don't do
you're not
poppy things like that.
But not only that, though, you don't acknowledge the crowd on what they want.
Right.
If you're a heel, you don't want to do what the fans want you to do. And to me, you know, they're trying to push Reigns as a big-time babyface. I think they failed with that, with Triple H doing what he did.
100%.
You know,
yes.
if he was to beat him down, okay, fine. To show a little sympathy card, I guess, there's nothing wrong with that. But to acknowledge the crowd that, you know, even, you know, and to me, Roman's getting the John Cena treatment, you know. He gets booed or he gets cheered. And I'm sorry to say he doesn't, it's not, to me, it's down the middle.
Right.
I don't see it like as a 70, you know,
30
like a
split or
70,
65,
30
35, 55,
yeah,
45,
I don't see it. I
like
think
that.
it's right down the middle, you know, because you look in the crowd, there is people that really like Roman Reigns. And of course, there's people that really hate Roman Reigns, but that all goes to the haters that, you know, claims that, oh, he only has 3 moves. Well, you know what? So does John Cena. So does The Rock. So does Steve Austin. A lot of these guys had just 3 or 4 major moves that they always did. And then now you're noticing it with Roman Reigns? Come on, man.
It's a formula that's been around since the beginning of wrestling.
Exactly. You know, it's called a signature move.
Yeah. Or less or no thing, less is more.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, the excuses that they're making on why they want to hate Roman Reigns is irrelevant to me. You know, don't come and say all that stuff about him. And it's been going on for years with other wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Hulk Hogan, you're going to tell me he was a really great wrestler? No, he didn't know anything about wrestling. But he had the look of a champion and
the charisma, everything he did. Yeah, but you know, Triple H, he's got to be more of a heel. He can't be posing for and popping off for the crowd. I know that's part of his shtick, but there was no
reason for it.
No,
to be honest,
there's no understanding.
No, there wasn't. The thing that was weird was that there was when that happened. Of course, there was a fan, you know, recording it on his phone, and it spread it like wildfire on the internet. What's his name? Byron?
Byron Saxton.
It is Byron. I always thought it was Brian. I don't know why. So Byron Saxton handed Roman Reigns a blood capsule.
You can see it clear as day.
And you can see it clear as day that he did. As a worker myself and yourself, you know, we know that's what it is. I've never, honestly, you know, with my career in wrestling, I've never seen anybody use a blood. No, you know what? I lied. I'm sorry. I've seen it once. I've seen it done once, and the guy, he just wanted to make the illusion of his mouth was busted open or whatever. He was bleeding inside the mouth or something like that. That's the only time I've ever seen it, you know, being talked about when I was wrestling, but I've never seen any major company like WWE or TNA and stuff like that. I've never seen a blood capsule being used for anything. No, I mean, and if you look back, the blood looked kind of weird.
It looked like it was just paste. It looked syrupy. Like it looked.
Well, the color, like to me, the color was off.
The color was off. It didn't look like a natural, like,
it was
coagulated.
Too red.
It wasn't coagulated.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, but even still, I mean, you can see it clear as day. Soon as Triple H is done bashing Roman's head in, and he walked away, and you can see Roman just extend his hand out a little bit as a cue for Byron to hand him the blood capsule. And sure enough, you can see Byron going right up to him, and you can see him handing it to him, and then Roman sticking it right in his mouth and did whatever to it, or, you know, burst it, and it went up a little bit around his nose and stuff. Now, the thing that was weird is that they were saying that Roman's nose was really busted. You know, like there was something wrong with his nose. That it was really busted or broken or shattered. I don't know, whatever the term that they used. So that's why I kind of, you know, I guess they wanted to really bring that out. So that's why they used the blood capsule to justify him getting surgery. So it could have been a previous injury that they threw it on the show, and that's what, because if you notice, they haven't really been showing a lot of Roman.
No,
you know that. I mean, well, no, you know what? I take that back. They did a small promo with him that day on Raw, but I didn't notice
on his cell
it.
phone or something, right?
Yeah. But I didn't really notice it. You know, I didn't notice his nose. I wasn't looking at his nose, so but I think if anything was kind of off about it, I would have seen it. But from what they're saying is that he had this injury before. So that's why they kind of went with that angle. And he really did had to get the surgery or something.
Quick way to write him off for a couple weeks. Let him
for a couple weeks or some. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
So the segment makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time.
Right. I mean, what we just discussed about Triple H, that makes no sense for him to do, But if it was the case for him
Roman
to get surgery, then that's a good way of doing it. Triple H shouldn't have been popping with the crowd.
No.
If you're supposed to be this established heel and you're trying to put over Roman, you don't go along with the crowd. You don't do that, I mean, not of all people, he should know that.
Right.
But I just think, honestly, he just got caught up in the moment and went with it. So it's happened before. I've seen it happen many, many times. But that's in this case. They're trying to pop Roman. They're trying to give him a big push, and
it's not working.
It's not working. It really isn't. They got to go a different route with Roman. I think. They got They got about 5 weeks to do it, and they need to come up with something.
Well, I just hope the match ain't garbage at WrestleMania.
Oh man, I hope not. You know what though? It's not really a prediction, I guess you can say, but I feel that match, they need to make Roman look like a beast.
100%.
Because at that one pay-per-view, like I said last week, that when Roman went nuts and he bashed Triple H in the back with that chair, kept on doing it, and he had that not weird look. He had that look on his face like, I've had enough, that type. That's where they need him to be, because that's what the fans liked. If you notice, he had a huge pop when that happened. When with the whole thing with Sheamus and all this other stuff, the crowd popped huge for that, and that's where they need to get him. And at WrestleMania, that's how he has to be. If they're gonna have this match, number one, I think they're gonna have to do a no DQ or something.
Pretty much.
And I think that's what's going to end up happening anyways. They're going to be some kind of stipulation to this match, and they got to make him, if they really want to make him shine, you got to make him look like a beast. So.
Exactly. It's about the only way it's going to work.
Yeah, so that was the end of Raw. A couple notes, too, that no shows was Kevin Owens.
Yeah, what was that all about?
I have no idea. Maybe, they'll explain something for next week's Raw. But I just found that kind of weird. He's the IC champ, and you don't put him in a segment to
it's like,
kind of set up a storyline for WrestleMania.
I get time constraints and all, but
but still, I mean,
that's a huge time.
Exactly,
that's a huge face you're losing.
Yeah. So, anyways, I gave Raw about an 8.5.
Sounds good.
It was really one of the better Raws in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And it's due because of Shane McMahon.
Oh yeah, and there's no doubt about it. Shane McMahon is Raw.
Yeah,
Raw was McMahon that night.
That is true, and I got no problems with that one.
No, at all. As long as it stays Shane McMahon and not like have Linda come back out of nowhere.
If Linda comes back, man, it is on like Donkey Kong.
Linda runs the Divas. Triple H has NXT.
Yeah,
Shane has Raw,
and just leave it at that. But that's all we got for now. If you have any questions or whatever, you want to suggest some ideas, I'm cool with that, and I know Ron is cool with that.
Sure.
You can always reach us at Facebook at Wrestling POV Podcast on Facebook. You can reach us on Twitter at Wrestling POV. We're also at Podbean at Wrestling POV, and you can subscribe to us there too. And of course, now we're featured on iTunes, so you can reach us. Actually, not reach us, but you can listen to our show on iTunes. You can subscribe to our show on iTunes, and we're also on YouTube. So you can, like Ron said, you can post your questions on there, and that's all I have for today.
That's all we got.
Oh, actually, no. Next week. Next week, we will have
the return
of our Indie Call-Up of the Week, and we got a good one for this week. So stay tuned, watch it, or not watch it, but listen to it.
Watch it when we put it on YouTube.
Watch it when we put it on YouTube. That's all I got for today. I'm your host, Tony Diaz, along with...
I'm Luis Arandos.
Love, peace, and the hair grease, and we will see you next week.